Remember how wars used to be? Tanks, planes, explosions, the whole shebang? Well, buckle up, because the battlefield just got a whole lot more digital. Traditional military doctrines, steeped in centuries of physical confrontation, are facing a new kind of threat: cyber warfare. Think of it like this. Instead of bombs and bullets, imagine armies of invisible code warriors hacking into vital infrastructure. Power grids go dark. Communication systems crumble. Chaos ensues. This isn't some far-fetched sci-fi scenario. It's happening right now. And it's changing everything we thought we knew about warfare. Concepts like deterrence, the idea that having big, scary weapons prevents others from attacking you, suddenly seem quaint in a world where a teenager with a laptop can theoretically bring a nation to its knees. And retaliation, the cornerstone of traditional warfare, becomes a murky proposition when the attacker could be anyone, anywhere in the world. Welcome to the brave new world of cyber warfare. Cyber warfare, simply put, is using digital tools to disrupt, disable, or destroy an enemy's infrastructure and capabilities. Think of it as hacking, but on a national scale with much higher stakes. It's not just about stealing secrets anymore, though that's still part of it. It's about wreaking havoc on a country's ability to function. Imagine a cyber attack that shuts down air traffic control, cripples financial markets, or even causes widespread blackouts. Suddenly, the line between the digital and the physical world becomes very blurry. Cyber warfare can take many forms. It could be a distributed denial of service, DDoS attack, flooding a network with traffic to overwhelm it. It could be malware, sneaking malicious code into critical systems. It could even be disinformation campaigns, manipulating social media to sow discord and undermine trust. The possibilities, much like the internet itself, are vast and constantly evolving, and that's what makes cyber warfare so dangerous. It's constantly changing and incredibly difficult to defend against. Traditionally, deterrence relied on the threat of massive retaliation. You mess with me, I obliterate you. Simple, right? Well, not so much in the cyber realm. For starters, it's often difficult to determine the source of a cyber attack. Was it a rogue nation-state, a shadowy hacker collective, or just some bored teenager in their basement? Good luck figuring that out. This attribution problem makes traditional deterrence strategies tricky. You can't exactly threaten to nuke a basement, can you? Furthermore, the barrier to entry in cyber warfare is significantly lower than in traditional warfare. You don't need to build expensive tanks or fighter jets. All you need is a computer and some coding skills. This opens up the playing field to a whole new set of actors, from small states with limited conventional military power to non-state actors like terrorist organizations. And that makes deterring cyber attacks a whole lot more complicated. Retaliation in the cyber age is equally messy. Sure, you can launch a counter-cyber attack, but that could escalate quickly, leading to a tit-for-tat exchange that spirals out of control. Plus, there's the risk of collateral damage. In the interconnected world of cyberspace, it's all too easy to hit unintended targets. Remember that time a cyber attack designed to target Iranian nuclear facilities ended up causing centrifuges to spin out of control, nearly causing a meltdown? Yeah, not ideal. So if traditional deterrence and retaliation are less effective in the cyber realm, what's the answer? Well, it's complicated. Some argue for a more proactive approach, using cyber weapons preemptively to cripple an adversary's capabilities before they can attack. Others advocate for stronger international norms and agreements to regulate cyber warfare, much like we've done with chemical and biological weapons. The truth is, there's no easy answer. Section 5, David versus Goliath, Cyber Warfare as the Great Equalizer. One of the most significant impacts of cyber warfare is how it levels the playing field. In the past, smaller nations or non-state actors had little chance against a superpower's military might. But in cyberspace, size doesn't matter as much. A skilled hacker in a developing country can potentially cause just as much damage as a well-funded military unit. This has led to a certain democratization of warfare, where David can now digitally sling a stone at Goliath and actually stand a chance of hitting their mark. This shift in the balance of power has profound implications for international relations. Smaller nations, previously relegated to the sidelines, now have a powerful tool to assert themselves on the world stage. Non-state actors like terrorist groups can use cyber attacks to spread fear and disrupt global stability. The rules of the game have changed and everyone is still trying to figure out the new playbook. Section 6. Case studies when bits become bombs. The impact of cyber warfare is not theoretical, it's already happening. Remember the Stuxnet worm? This sophisticated piece of malware, widely believed to be a joint US-Israeli operation, targeted Iranian nuclear facilities, causing centrifuges to malfunction and setting back Iran's nuclear program. Then there's the NotPetya attack, attributed to Russia, which caused billions of dollars in damage to businesses worldwide. And let's not forget the constant barrage of cyber attacks targeting government agencies, critical infrastructure, and private companies, often attributed to state-sponsored actors. These examples highlight the very real threat posed by cyber warfare. It's not just a matter of stolen data or hacked emails anymore. Cyber attacks can have devastating real-world consequences, disrupting economies, undermining national security, and even threatening human lives. So, what does the future hold for warfare in the digital age? One thing is clear, cyber warfare is here to stay. In fact, it's only going to become more prevalent and more sophisticated. As technology advances, so too will the tools and tactics of cyber warfare. Artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and the Internet of Things all have the potential to revolutionize and further complicate cyber warfare. Imagine swarms of autonomous drones controlled by AI, launching coordinated cyber attacks, or quantum computers cracking encryption codes with ease, rendering current security measures obsolete. The possibilities are both exhilarating and terrifying. The rise of cyber warfare also raises a host of ethical questions. For starters, there's the issue of proportionality. How do you ensure that a cyber attack, even if in retaliation, doesn't cause disproportionate damage to civilian infrastructure or lead to unintended consequences? Then there's the question of attribution. If it's difficult to determine the source of a cyber attack, how do you hold the perpetrators accountable? And what about the use of cyber weapons to target individuals such as journalists or dissidents? The ethical implications of cyber warfare are complex and far-reaching, and we're only just beginning to grapple with them. The global and interconnected nature of cyberspace makes international cooperation essential to managing the threats posed by cyber warfare. Just like with nuclear weapons, we need clear rules of engagement, mechanisms for conflict resolution, and ways to deter escalation. This will require cooperation between nation-states as well as with the private sector, which controls much of the critical infrastructure that's vulnerable to cyber attacks. Establishing international norms and agreements on cyber warfare won't be easy, but it's essential if we want to prevent the digital world from becoming a lawless battleground. We need to find ways to harness the power of technology for good while mitigating its potential for harm. Cyber warfare represents a fundamental shift in the nature of conflict. It's a shadowy world of ones and zeros, where the lines between war and peace, offense and defense, are blurred beyond recognition. It's a world where the greatest weapon might not be a tank or a missile, but a well-crafted line of code. The challenges posed by cyber warfare are immense, but so too are the opportunities. By understanding the evolving nature of cyber threats, developing strong defenses, and fostering international cooperation, we can hopefully navigate this brave new world of conflict and harness the power of technology for a more secure and prosperous future. But hey, no pressure or anything. It's only the fate of the world at stake.